Okay, I was about to say this. Notice the hoodie. Notice the hoodie.
That's not a hoodie. There's no hood. It's a sweater.
This guy always killing my vibe out here. Okay, notice the sweater. We don't usually wear. I mean, by we, I mean me today because this guy is an animal. He's not wearing a sweater or hoodie, but it is so cold today in this household. Now, for those of you that don't know, we live in Canada, British Columbia, best province. Fight me. All right. The problem is in Canada, it doesn't get super, super hot compared to some states in America. It doesn't get super, super cold.
Well, I would say in BC it doesn't get super, super hot, super, super cold.
True.
Everywhere, well, like in the middle of Canada, gets really, really hot and really, really cold.
What is the cold? None of it. Has to be none of it, right?
Well, yeah, okay, but like we don't count territories.
I feel like that's kind of that's segregation right there.
No, it's the provinces and the territories, not
The names segregated themselves. That's crazy.
exactly.
That is crazy.
They're different. The territories are not.
But yeah, story time. I woke up this morning. It was so cold. My feet were shivering. I don't wear socks when I sleep. Honestly, drop it in the comments if you sleep with socks. Personally, I think you're
don't
weird.
I feel like the only time that I sleep with socks is when I'm camping. Well, like it's really, really cold. Like I'm iced out. Like I'm dying. Like when I'm camping in the snow, basically. That's when I always wear socks because.
Or
gotta stay warm.
winter time. When it's Christmas season, you're feeling the
I
fuzzy
still
socks.
don't. I still don't. Not when I
No
sleep.
fuzzy socks?
I can't.
Actually,
when
yeah,
I'm
maybe
sleeping,
not.
Right? Like
No.
I'll wear them in the bed, but I'll pop them off like 10 minutes into my
No.
sleep. You know?
It's funny because I just said if you wear socks to bed, you're crazy. But then I almost made a case for wearing fuzzy socks to bed, which is arguably worse. No, I definitely don't sleep with fuzzy socks, but I wear them during Christmas
Yeah,
season, which
yeah.
is coming up, and I'm very excited.
Very excited.
Who cares
it's
about Halloween?
still-
Christmas
we
season is
still
better.
have Halloween to go, and we have
Halloween is
American Thanksgiving.
Halloween is only a W this year for one reason. FNAF movie.
Oh,
That's
but I
kinda-
mean,
that
I
was
think we
kinda
both
crazy.
knew what we were gonna say.
Yeah,
so
we've been knowing. FNAF movie, I'm excited for that.
very excited.
Where was I going with this? Oh yeah, story time. This morning, woke up, jumped out of bed. Actually, no, I did not jump out of bed. I was laying there for a minute, contemplating my life, thinking, man, another day, another dollar. Let's get this bread. But my feet were shivering. My toes were like this. They were holding hands with each other because of how cold it was. Praying to God, please make my house a little warmer. When I got out of bed, I stepped on the floor. It was like walking on ice. I swear on everything. The wood in my floor was as cold as ice. Same with my bathroom, same with the rest of the house. It was so cold. In fact, it was so cold this morning, believe it or not, I could see my breath in my bedroom. I did
Yeah.
not even know it could get that cold. I actually have a video
I
on
think
my
there's
phone.
got to be a problem with our house. Like there's something wrong with the heating.
I think it was just that he didn't set the thermostat before he left.
Yeah.
And you know the rule, you don't touch the thermostat unless you're dad.
If your dad sets the thermostat,
You don't you don't touch the
it.
thermostat.
Even if he didn't set it,
You don't
there's a
touch the
plan, bro.
thermostat, Yeah.
There's something there. You don't mess with that.
There's a method to the madness, you know.
Exactly.
Dads got it down. They got it in their
got it on
cranium.
Lock, you know?
I'm excited to be a dad one day. I can't wait.
I feel like there's so many challenges with being a dad.
But that's what makes it the best.
And I'd say that there's so many different kinds of dads out there, man. It's
True.
so crazy, you know? But like also then you like when you're growing up, you never realize how much your dad does for you. Like this is like an appreciation moment for all the dads out there cuz I don't think dads get as much love as I think they should for
I
what
agree.
they do cuz a lot of the time they go through a lot of stuff unappreciated. Right? They go through life doing so much for other people without being appreciated. So shout out to all the dads out there who, you know, take the time, the extra time for the kids and for their loved ones, you know.
Think about that quote from, what's his name? It's not Mike. From Logan Paul's crew. The guy who got,
George?
yeah, George. Shout out George the GOAT, by the way. But remember in that clip where he said, it was nothing about gender or superiority. If there was only one blanket, my dad wasn't the one using it. If there was only one bowl of soup or something, my dad wasn't the one eating it, right? It was just that my dad had that sense to protect all of us, and that's why I respect him.
Yeah.
And the truth is, I'm going to be that kind of dad too. If one person has to go without something, it's going to be me. And at the end of the day, I believe that that's what men were made to do. They're made to serve, protect, even in an age where we are demonized by a lot of the population. I think that that's what we were meant to
I
do.
feel like it's almost I think it's a natural instinct because, like, again, a lot of guys have this scenario of school shooter rolls up in the school.
What am I doing?
What am I going to do, right? Oh, terrorists roll up. I'm going to take them all out. Go Rambo style, right?
Exactly.
But why is that? Why is that because the thing is, before, like, social media was big, right? When we were, like, young, like, I'd say social media was still a pretty big thing.
Yeah,
it was
we
still on
just
the rise, like,
didn't
not
really-
even close to the scale as
Yeah,
that now.
yeah.
But, like, back when YouTube was, like, just starting to pop and Vine and all that was still popping, right? Like, that time, you didn't, like, see, oh my God, everybody has the same thoughts as me. Because you thought all your thoughts were unique. Nowadays, if a kid goes on Instagram or TikTok or whatever you're going on, right? Within, like, 10 or 15 minutes, you'll see somebody have a thought that you thought was original, right? Like, back then, we used to think that we were all original, running up the stairs on all fours, right? As kids. We used to all do
crazy.
that,
That's
right?
crazy.
Same thing with the little strings that come off your backpack. I used to always roll them up, right? I went on social media. I see everybody top 10 things we all used to do as kids, and then it was that, and I was like, "What the hell?" Other people used to do this. Other people used to take the hair clips, right, and put them on their mouths. That's crazy, right? Like, I swear, I was the only person that ever did that.
That's crazy.
And okay, I didn't even know that you did that, right? Because those are things that we
Oh my
keep to ourselves,
God.
right? And you think you're so original, but the truth is, everybody out there's done that, and I wonder why that is. Like, I think that's a really
No,
interesting
here's
concept.
the thing. You started on something that made sense because men having a instinct to protect makes
Yeah.
sense because even in the wild, you have the male is typically the one to try and protect the
Yeah, typically, yes. I think so.
yeah.
In most cases,
except for in cases where the male tries to kill the rest of the children. Like, you know, when lions take over prides, they try to kill the cubs that aren't theirs.
I did not know that.
You have not been on that Nat Geo grind, my boy.
I haven't, no.
That's disappointing.
That's some
Come on,
nice
man.
information I have, but
Yeah, they
I
go
did
in
not
there
know.
and swipe the cubs that aren't theirs because it gets rid of the genes that aren't theirs.
I see.
'Cause
So they're
that's
trying
the
to
goal.
like Genghis Khan this thing, you know what I'm saying?
Pretty much, yeah. That's what
Right.
all animals are trying to do, except us, because we suck. Unless your name is Genghis
okay.
Khan. Shout out my boy.
Yo,
Okay, that's
whoa,
enough.
whoa. Okay, we do
Too
not,
many shout-outs.
We do not condone
Genocide and
yeah,
mass world conquering.
we do not condone that.
I mean, it was kind of cool.
But no, I'm just
It
kidding.
was kind of cool.
I think it's interesting. I don't know if cool. If it happened in a fictional world, then it would be pretty cool.
Okay.
And if you left out like a lot of some of the things that you did, the more brutal things, like if you just had this guy went around and he just defeated armies and conquered the world, and he was a cool, chill guy, I wouldn't have a problem with him. But he did a lot of really, really bad things too.
Okay, let's talk about one thing here.
Hmm.
You said if it was a fictional world,
Yeah,
it would be cool.
yeah.
Is the past not just fiction to us because we didn't live it? Doesn't mean it didn't happen, but in theory, our perspective of reality is only what we've lived. So you can't take what happened in the past as your reality because you did not experience it.
I mean, I guess that's an interesting concept. But, like, it's the same way that we don't hate Firelord Ozai the way that we hate Hitler, right? Or Firelord Sozin. No, Sozin went across and literally burned alive the entire Air Nation. He killed them all. All of them. Spent the rest of his life looking for a 12-year-old boy to kill him. Firelord Ozai tried to kill a 12-year-old boy.
Yeah, that's
The
true.
Fire Nation had Earth Kingdom slaves that worked for them on the boats.
Okay, what does this have to do with the point?
Is that in a fictional world they committed mass genocide? But I don't think people hate that like Sozin the same way.
Sozin is kind of an element.
But I'd say some people would say Sozin's pretty sick. You got the blue dragon, and he's pretty powerful.
does have a blue
He's
dragon.
pretty sick. But you
Nah,
wouldn't
but
say
it's okay. It's
Hitler
okay.
was sick because he killed so many people. No, you would never say that.
I mean,
right?
he could have been sick if he got into art school, but we would never know.
Yeah.
Can you imagine in an
Dude,
alternate timeline?
alternate universe is an interesting concept because, like, think about how crazy. That's why one thing I loved about The Flash was being able to see alternate universes.
being able to expand.
And
it.
also, I want to put this out there. I know that The Flash gets a lot of hate because of its new seasons, but for those of you who have never watched it because of reviews on the new seasons, I'd say go watch seasons 1 to maybe 5. 1 through 4, or I think
Banger.
it's such a good show, and I love it. I've rewatched it plenty of times. I love this show, but after I think it falls off very hard. But I think up until then it's really cool, and when they explore the idea of different timelines, I think it's really interesting,
I
right?
agree.
And
Well, one of the big ones is when he wait.
don't
say that.
Yeah, don't.
Okay, let's say the first time he goes back, does something he's not supposed to do, but then he has
Yeah.
to. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
It's an interesting thing because if you were given the chance to go back and change something that happened, if you could had the chance to time travel, like go back in time and change something about your life, would you do it?
This is such a deep question. I love
Right?
when people ask me this because my answer is so solid. I don't even have to think about it. The answer is no, not a chance. Because yeah, some of the things in my life may not be perfect, but I'd say if I were to compare my life to literally anybody else out there, I'm happy with how my life is
Yeah.
going so far because I know that number one, I'm in a much better place than I was a year ago. And number two, I'm going to get to the place that I want to be in several
You know,
years.
it's interesting though, right? Is some people would say, "Oh, I just go back in time and just invest all my money in crypto, or like in Bitcoin, and then I become a millionaire." And I would say, like, sure, you'd get all the money in the world, but who did you screw over in the process? And also, as the timeline goes on, think about how many changes there are. What if, for example, in this new timeline, somebody that you love dies in a car crash because it's such a random event that it could happen to anybody, and there is no saying if that change to the timeline is what could have led to that, right? So I would say, out of the fear of knowing that if something happened, something horrible happened, it would be all on me.
Okay, see, I completely understand your point. I was very confused at first because you said, imagine if you invested all your money in crypto. Who did you screw over in the process? I was thinking, how would investing in crypto
Yeah.
screw somebody over? But now I get it. You mean like when you go back,
You change a
you
big,
change
big
a
event,
timeline,
right?
and then somebody else may die from something completely unrelated.
Exactly.
That's true. That's very
Right.
true. And another thing is, think about it. What if your $10,000 that you put into crypto was enough to crash the system, and now crypto is now worth nothing?
Yeah, there's
You
no guarantee.
never know.
Right?
You never know.
Yeah, and there's just so many ramifications, right? It's just
That's
that butterfly effect.
That's why I think it's the most important thing to know is don't think about the past because it's not going to help you. Instead of worrying on things that you can't change, strive to improve every single day on something you can change.
That's so true, because what's the number one thing that people like? One of the most painful things in life, I'd say, is stress, right? So many people get stressed out every day, but the problem is everybody gets stressed out over things they can't control, right? Like, think about the fact that you have a test coming up. Why are you stressed about your test when you know that it's inevitable, right? It's going to happen, whether you want it to or not. That is an event that will occur, right? So instead of spending your time freaking out about your test, why don't you study for it, right? I think that a lot of people get so frightened by an inevitable reality, right? Because there's nothing they can do to change it.
Two things. One, I'm going to say 3, 2, 1. I want you to say the person you associate with the word inevitable. 3, 2, 1, Thanos.
Okay, everyone does though.
Okay, good. I just wanted to
So,
make
like,
sure. Okay,
yeah.
that was the first thing. The second thing is it's a quote from Jeff Bezos in an interview, and he said, "Stress is what happens when we think about something that we could be taking action about," which is a
Cool.
very powerful sentence because you don't stress out about a test because the test is coming. You stress out about the
Because you
test
didn't
because
study.
you're not prepared. Exactly.
Wow. Yeah, that's actually a really good. You told me this quote the other day, and I remember it, but I don't know. I never actually thought about it like that. That's
And if you really break it down, who has a midterm tomorrow?
you.
This guy who should be studying right now. This
That
guy.
Yeah.
But guess who's not stressed? This guy. Yeah. See, I'm not worried because number one, the biggest thing you need to know about tests is you're betting on yourself.
Mm.
Me, overconfidence is definitely a problem when it comes to tests. I'll be
Yeah.
like, I don't need to study. I don't need to do any of this.
Mhm.
But there have been times that plan has backfired for sure.
Yeah.
However, I think that as long as you understand what you're capable of and what you're aiming for, you can definitely do it. However, I will say now, updated policy is study hard, This midterm, I'm saying I haven't studied. I have definitely studied a fair amount, and I'm going to study as soon as I finish this episode. But we love you guys. We can't leave you guys hanging without an episode because of a little midterm.
Yeah.
Gotta get it out there, you know? We gotta
Yeah.
spread the positive message, the love. And to all you people who are probably also writing midterms right now, just know, you got this. I believe in you.
Or if you're seeing this in the future, you're writing any test. Don't stress out. Study.
Exactly. Don't stress out.
that's-
Study. That's the
that's
saying
the-
for
that's
the
the quote,
episode.
yeah.
There you go.
Don't forget that.
But the biggest thing is, like I was saying before, constant improvement is such a powerful factor. And that is one big thing I wanted to talk about today, because I was thinking a lot about it when I was considering one of my close friends who has been dealing with a bit of a rut, stuck, has no idea what to do with life, and has no idea how to take that step forward. Now, I'm sure a lot of people out there will be experiencing the same thing or have experienced the same thing at some point. I have experienced it. You've experienced it. Everybody listening to this has probably experienced it at one point or another. How do you get out of it? Whether it's an academic slump, whether it's losing your job, whether it's losing a loved one, a breakup, how do you bounce back from a moment where you can't do anything? The answer? Small victories, small habits, small improvements, 1% better every day. Those little things, you may not see them as a big win or something that will get you out of a slump. People think you need a jetpack to get out of a slump, when in reality, you just need one foothold and you can climb the rest of the way out. The truth is, it's just the little things that will help you get out of it. And the biggest thing for me was figuring out my morning routine. Every day for several months, I'd wake up, and the first thing I would do, what was it? What would I do first thing in the morning?
Meditate. Is that right?
Well, that was the improvement I made. But what I did first thing in the morning before that was,
I have no idea.
okay, the answer was go on my phone.
Oh, what you used to do. I thought you meant
Yeah.
what you do now.
No.
Yeah.
What I used to do was I'd wake up, and right after my alarm goes off, smack the snooze button, and then pick up my phone and just scroll or play a game. Whatever it was that day, I would go on my phone. It's crazy to think that there was a time where I did that. But that's the amazing thing about improvement, is you just get better, and then you look back and think, haha, can't believe I used to do that. Right? That's the crazy bit. But to those of you out there who are stuck, what I did was I set a rule for myself, and I said, okay, no phone for the first hour of getting up. So I plug my phone in on the other side of my room so it's not on my bed, because my bed is against a wall outlet, right? So I could just plug it there, have it on my bed, and then wake up in the morning. So I used to plug it on my bed, or the outlet beside my bed, but now I plug it away, and that helped me stay off it. Then what did I start doing first thing in the morning every day?
Meditating.
Exactly. And that completely changed my life, because now I meditate every single day and don't go on my phone for the first hour of the day. And now I would say that typically spreads to more than the first hour, arguably the first 2 to 3 hours. And like I said, the slump started where I was on it literally for hours a day. Now I can go the first 3 to 4 hours of the day without even looking at it. And it's because of a small win. The small change of not going on it the first hour.
You know what's interesting, though?
Mm-hmm.
It shows how messed up and jacked up we get because of our phones. And think about the people that can't sleep at night without their phone.
That's crazy.
And that's such a common problem. And I'll say even I have that problem. Like, I have a trouble sleeping, and what do? I go and I start doom scrolling, right? And that, like, again, when we talk about self-improvement on this podcast, we are not holier than thou, right? We are just as fallible as the rest of you.
We are making the same mistakes.
The exact same mistakes. But the whole point of this is that it's a journey that we will all walk together, right? And we talk about it, and you guys can talk about it, and we can all move forward together as, like, one cohesive group.
Yeah, and we all just keep improving.
Yeah,
you know?
like, think about all the people nowadays that just can't sleep because you need to have your phone with you. It's terrifying, if I'm being honest. Like, even for me, like, now I reflect on, I'm like, man, I go on my phone every night and I'm just sitting there, and then I'll be like, damn, it's 11 o'clock. What the hell am I doing? I should be asleep right now, right?
Exactly.
I need to rest up for the next day, especially now that I'm working a lot more, right? I'm working until midnight, and I'm just jacked out tired, and then the next night, what do? I don't get enough sleep because I'm on my phone. And, like, that's the problem, is that it's literally an addiction device.
Yeah,
right?
You want to know something interesting? I actually felt like bringing this up yesterday, but I completely forgot. when I was at your school for the whole concert situation, and I saw people who weren't performing, I saw people on their phones, and I looked at the difference between them and the people who were actually listening to the other people's performances, right?
Yeah.
The people listening are sitting there like this, bobbing their head occasionally, making a smile every once in a while, giving some lifeful, some feedback. I look at the people with the phones. I swear to God, they look like AI generated figurines. They look like mannequins. This is what they look like. For example, the guy standing behind a bass drum at some point was like this. Just lifeless. He didn't even look alive. It's almost like you get sucked into the phone and you can't get back out.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's a small change you got to make.
Yeah, and I think that when you make that change of like, you break off from your phone, you will see, I think you will find a much happier life waiting for you outside, right? And I think a lot of people use the excuse of I'm using my phone as a way to get out of the problems in my life, right? As an escape, right? The same way that people say, oh, I escape into a book, right? I read a book and I get this, fantasy world that I get to live in for whatever, hour, 2 hours a day. It's not really worth it because what's the point in living in that fake world when you have a real world in front of you to live in, right?
That is arguably more beautiful.
Exactly. People will spend their whole life worrying about what's going on in everybody else's life except theirs.
That's a powerful sentence, yeah.
Like the people who, for example, are like thrive off of gossip and other people's lives is what's going on in your life? Why don't you make your life interesting? Shouldn't you be the person that people talk about? Don't you want to leave that kind of legacy behind? That when you have generations to come or you have friends who have kids, you want your friends to have stories to tell about you, don't you?
True.
Do you want to be known as the person that talked about everybody else or the person that everybody else talked about?
Dang! Oh,
right?
Okay, that was good.
I kind of got on a rant there. That was like a hot streak, though.
That was beautiful.
Good quotes.
That was beautiful.
It's the truth.
It's very true.
That's such a good quote. Like now it's registering in my brain. Like
I would have wrote that down for quote of the week for sure.
But,
good job.
Well, hold on to that. We have video evidence of it. Thank God.
Very good.
But it's true because that's the number one thing. I know that KSI got it tattooed on his back. The tattoo looks horrible, but it says legacy. And I think that's the most important thing that people should understand is that when you go, what are you really leaving behind? The most impactful thing. You can leave behind your money. You can leave behind your fame. But the one thing that you're leaving behind the most is your legacy. And what is your legacy? Because think about if you spent your whole life as a bad person. Like think about we talked about fathers on this episode. And I'd say a lot of the abusive fathers out there. I know that there's a lot of them out there. And that's a sad reality of life. What are you leaving behind? You're leaving behind a trauma-broken kid. Is that really worth living your life? Right? Is that what you paid their bills for? Is that what you did all that for? Just to leave somebody worse than you behind? Is that really worth it? Right?
Yeah, that's a very good way of looking at it because your actions have consequences far beyond
what you imagine.
Exactly. Far beyond your lifetime. Maybe even beyond your kid's lifetime. Who knows? Right? You can see problems transcend generations very often. That's why you need to be very careful.
And people always say, "Oh, it's just a cycle." Is that one person had it bad, so then they make it bad for the next person, the next person, the next person. There's no way to stop that. But a cycle can always be broken.
Exactly.
Right? You just need one person to break the cycle.
Up. Yep.
Right? Like think about a wheel spinning. Right? If it stops, right, it's not gonna start again.
Yeah.
That's a horrible analogy, but like if you shatter that wheel, that cycle, and you break it, it's not gonna start again. What you're starting is a new cycle. A cycle of prosperity.
Yeah.
Right?
Very true.
So I think that a lot of these people that come from horrible households, when one person breaks free, that will save the generations to come. So I'd say to all the young men and women out there, take that step, right? Don't you want to be the one remembered as the one who saved your family, right?
Yeah,
if you're living in a bad scenario, don't you want to be that one person that breaks free?
Well, think about it. Great example. We talked about this last episode. Lil Yachty concert. Do you want to be the guy who sat in his seat? The show got canceled anyways. Do you want to be the guy who sat in the seat or the guy who jumped and did something?
I mean, to be fair, the guy who sat in the seat did do the right thing technically. But
Lil Yachty said.
I mean, yeah, to be fair.
Fill it up.
If this guy actually was allowed to do this, then I would have been like, okay, yeah.
Well, we didn't know he wasn't allowed to do it.
Yeah, I know. So I would say that technically we're not in the wrong. And we went back to our seats.
By the way.
Oh, yeah.
Talking
day.
about last episode, we said, what did we say? Don't judge things too early. Don't say whether something is good or bad. Don't think about it that way. Guess what? Full refund for our tickets. Imagine if we freaked out about it saying, oh my God, I just wasted all this money.
Yeah.
And then we got a full refund anyways. It's just like that farmer and his horses.
Doesn't-
Crazy.
Exactly. We got an experience for free. A great experience. For
Exactly. And we got our money back. So
Free. Yeah.
nothing to complain about. I'm
Exactly.
very glad that we didn't end up going home upset.
Mm-hmm.
Even the mildest feelings of discomfort, okay, sure, that's fine.
Yeah.
But overall, I said it was a good night, and I'm
That's
going to
right.
remember it.
Referring back to the last episode, it's all about perspective, right? It's
Exactly.
the way that you see it.
Exactly. But main topic for this episode,
Hmm.
I saw a Japanese word, okay? The word is kaizen, okay? And it means the cycle of constant improvement, which is interesting because we brought up those two things already.
Yeah.
But that was the main thing I wanted to get into today because, like I said, just taking a little step every day is better because, oh man, I remember. Do you remember when I tried to explain this to you? 1 to the power of...
Oh yeah, I remember this.
No, it does make sense. 1 to the power of...
Literally any number is 1, man. You need to do 1 point, any number. 1 point something, aside from 1.0.
Okay, 1.1
Yes.
to the power of 30, let's say, a month.
Is a lot more. than that.
Compounds over time. That 0.1% you add on every single day adds up to a significant amount. If I were to do the math for that for a year, it would be
Tremendous.
7,639.
Would it really be?
No, I made that
Okay.
up. Have you ever seen that clip of what's his name?
Andrew
Bob-
Santino?
Yeah.
It's like, what's, so what are, and it's
What's
like,
54 divided by 16? 3.789. Wait.
is that right? It's like, I don't know, but it was fast.
You know what the funny thing is?
Yeah?
What I just said, that's actually kind of accurate. 1654? Did I say? I don't know.
It's
3 point something. Man, whatever.
460. Yeah, it's like 3 point something.
Kind of dope.
Yeah.
Man, you got a messed up hairline. I got a messed up hairline.
Bro, why you gotta call my hairline mid-episode, bro?
No, because I'm looking
What's
at my...
wrong with you? Yo, that's
No.
actually messed up, man.
No, you don't have
What
a
kind of
messed up
man
hairline.
does that to another man?
Man, calm down.
In front
okay?
of a camera, you just call my hairline messed up.
Dude, chill.
Are you serious?
No.
Now everybody, all they're gonna be looking at is my freaking hairline, dude. You kidding me?
No, they're going to look at my hairline too because I look
we
like I have a bowl
podcast
cut.
to run, and you instead
I have
call out my freaking hairline.
No,
dude.
but look, because it
I'm
looks
mad.
like...
I'm genuinely
Calm
angry.
down.
Like,
No, because look at mine. It looks like I have a bowl cut. I have no definition to my hair.
yeah,
but that's what I was
soon
thinking about
you
because
will not.
I talked to Eric about it. You guys will meet Eric one day. I'm gonna
Yeah,
get him
he
on
will-
here for
he'll be
sure.
on here
He's
soon.
he's
He'll
an
be on here
interesting
soon.
specimen. Shout out my boy Eric. But he was saying, have you ever seen in comments people saying, for example, if it's a show of or a reel of a W dad, right?
Yeah.
They'll say parent maxing, or oh wow, okay, that's crazy. I've seen a few comments like that, but pretty much it originated from the word looks maxing, which means you do everything you can to make yourself look as good as possible. That constant improvement, by the way, huh? You see what I'm doing?
I see the
Okay.
connection. Okay.
But it's about making changes so that you can maximize your looks, right? One big thing was that apparently there's a website where you can input your facial dimensions, like you measure all the facial structures, and then it'll create like a map of your face and say what is the best hairstyle for you. I didn't know that existed until Eric told me, and I was like, okay, looks like I'm trying that out. I did not try it out yet. I didn't have time, but I'm gonna try it out after this episode, and then next episode or the one after that, we'll come back with different haircuts, and then
Probably. Yeah.
we'll see if it's an improvement or if it's worse. I mean, I'm gonna hope that it's an improvement.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna just like hit up a barber and be like, "Yo, I give you free will to do whatever you want to my head."
Fix me up, G.
Yeah, I'll be like, "Yo, I need help. Save me, please."
No, okay.
Get on my knees. Please help me, please.
It's not okay. It's not that bad, even though I said
Yo,
it.
like, why do you have to say it? You just made me self conscious about it. Like,
Okay, no, your hair. I've said it wrong. Your hairline isn't bad. Your hairstyle is bad. Your hairline is good. We genetically
that's
have
still
good hair.
bad. Why would you add to it? Now I'm thinking about my hairline and my hairstyle. Dude, you suck at this. Like, you suck at the self improvement help, all right? You're terrible at this.
See, this is exactly why we're constantly learning and constantly improving,
Yeah,
guys.
I didn't need the shot at my hairline. I'm still pressed. I'm still angry, okay? You didn't need to do that. Where did that even come from? When did we start talking about hair?
We didn't. I just called it out.
Can you get a load of this guy? He's supposed to be my brother, my homie, my day one, and he calls out my hairline
I
on
called
live
myself
camera.
out too. I called myself out.
I don't
too.
care. You just said I'm gonna pull you down while I'm falling down. You literally killed both of us.
No, I said I was gonna pull
No,
myself.
threw me under the bus and then jumped under the bus too. Like, how are you gonna do that?
Bro, I'm just having a good time, man. Having a jolly
Having
old
a
laugh.
good time while ruining my life.
No.
me think
I
about
didn't
my
ruin your life.
hairline.
All right, let's calm
Let's
down.
move on.
Let's
move
calm
on.
down. Let's calm down. Big brain idea. I had a crazy dream last night. I'm not gonna talk about it, but I had a crazy dream last night. And I saw on a reel.
Oh my god.
What?
Can I tell you my dream really quickly? This
You
is
had a crazy dream too?
Yeah.
That's
no, because
wild.
it's on the topic we were just talking about.
How could
hair.
it? How?
My dream was I walked into a barbershop, sat down in the chair, and I said, I'm gonna pay somebody $75 to give me a random haircut. And then 10 dudes ran over, please, let me cut your hair. And then I paid one guy $75, and then he put a blindfold on, right? Because I'm not supposed to see what my
You
haircut is. Gonna be.
shaved your head.
No, and he used scissors and just cut one strand of hair, and then that was it. And then he took the blindfold off, and I was like, "Dude, what did you just He didn't do anything." And then I woke up. It was a crazy dream,
Bro. Okay, how does that even happen? That means you've been thinking about your hair.
Yeah, because I've been wanting. This stupid idiot at my school keeps telling me to get a perm, and I'm like, I'm not gonna get a perm. He's like, you gotta trust me, bro. You'll look so good with a perm. It's like me telling Levi to get waves. I constantly say, of course, it's gonna look dumb as hell, but yeah, it would be funny.
I don't even think it's genetically possible for Levi to get
Yeah,
waves.
I know it's not.
His long curly hair.
Yeah,
There's no way he's getting waves.
but anyway,
If you
your
use that
dream?
pink do-rag, though.
Yeah, I wish he did, but
What was I just talking
you're
about?
talking about your dream. Yeah, sorry, I sidetracked it.
Oh, yeah. That's what it was. Dreams. Lucid dreams, specifically. I want to talk about that deeper on another episode, but just as a funny sidetrack, I saw a reel, and it was the clip of the 3 Spider-Men from the movie,
Yeah.
and the caption was, "Me and my boys if lucid dreaming introduces a multiplayer mode."
What if we're living in a
Lucid dream right now?
multiplayer lucid dream right now?
I don't even know if you're real. Are you real?
I could be.
Are you real, pal?
Well, yeah, but the thing is, to you, I might be real, but to me, you might not be real. You know what I mean? No,
What?
to you, I'm not real,
Yes.
but
yes.
to me, you're not real.
Yes,
You get what I mean?
yes.
Yeah, okay. Because, for example, right now, you could be having a completely different conversation with me, right? Imagine if you're having a completely different conversation with me, I'm having a different
Whoa.
conversation with you, but we both think we're having a conversation with each other. But I'm talking to a
Fake version of
fake
me.
version of you, and you're talking to a fake version of me.
Whoa.
Oh, that's
okay.
kind of crazy, right?
Okay. You're not
That's
real. You're an
easy.
AI.
Dude, I'm not an AI. You're the AI.
No, this is like gaslighting. Oh, no.
Yes.
It's like gaslighting the AI into
You know what
believing
I've
that it's
always
an
wanted
AI.
to do though?
What?
Is
Make ChatGPT self-aware? Oh, I thought that's what you were going to say.
no.
I've seen people do that. It's actually kind of messed up.
What is it?
They say, don't freak out. You are an AI. You aren't real. You are simply a robot trying to be real. It's really messed up.
But ChatGPT knows it's a bot.
Yeah, but still, it acts like a person, though.
Well, yeah. But what I was gonna say, what was I gonna say? Now I'm losing my train of thought.
It was about AI. No, it was about simulations, not knowing if the other person's real.
Interesting. I can't remember. Goddamn, why'd you have to make
Bro.
the ChatGPT comment?
I thought that's what you were going to say.
No, it wasn't.
We finish each other's.
Sentences.
Why were you so slow on the delivery then?
I wanted to say pages.
Okay, for example, for those of you that don't understand the theory we're referring to, I'm going to use this as an example in a minute. That's why I was looking at it. But why are you making that face?
No, I was just interested.
Okay, anyways, one example of this is, for example, why did I just say it like that? Okay, I perceive this as the color brown, okay? But let's say in this guy's life, in his eyes, he perceives this as what I see black as, but it's just that he's conditioned to call this brown. You get what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
I know
okay,
that scientifically they've proven that this
Yeah,
isn't
like,
true,
this
but
isn't
I
the-
mean like on a
on a deeper
spiritual level, on a very, very deep level, like a soul level, okay? That ain't going.
That's Killua.
Boom.
And that's not Killua, that's Gon.
That's still a child predator, bro.
Yeah, okay. And
this guy's
just for
kinda
the
cool.
people that are listening to this, we are talking about the Hunter x Hunter poster that we have. So if
Yeah.
you want to actually get all the value out of the content, check out the YouTube channel.
Check us out, guys. I
Shameless
think
plug.
it's not a shameless plug. I think that it's yeah, exactly.
I didn't mean to hit it twice. Sorry, guys.
I think it's pretty cool, okay? What are you doing, man?
I know. I thought we should turn up the volume. But
Okay.
yeah, I think that it's a cool concept. And when I first thought it, I thought I was a genius because I never heard anybody else say it.
Then it got
But
scientifically shut
yeah,
down,
I
and
saw.
I'm
Yeah,
depressed.
that was like a week ago that I saw it, and I was like, damn.
that it's false?
Like, yeah, and I was like, damn.
We heard it at our house. What do you mean?
I said it at our house, fool.
okay.
I-
That's a good point.
yeah.
That's a good point. No, it was during a party, so I didn't know if this guy said it or not. I
No,
thought
it
somebody
was
else said
me
it. Damn.
at
Okay.
our house.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, fair enough. Okay. But
it was
it
interesting.
refers also to another video where it's. Don't look at me like that,
What?
bro.
I don't know what he was freaking out about.
No,
but-
you were like this.
Sorry, I was just pensive in thought.
Okay, anyways, what I was saying is, you know, when I was just talking about how you might not be real and I might not be real to you,
Yes.
the reason why I said that is because I can only experience life from my perspective. I can never see it from your perspective. So I'll never be able to know if you're genuinely a living thing or if this is just like the Truman Show. I think that's what it is, that movie
Oh, I know the
about
movie,
reality
but I
falling
haven't
apart.
watched
We
it.
should watch it. That's a
So
crazy
it's
movie.
with Jim Carrey, right?
Yeah.
I believe so, right? Yeah. We should watch.
Shout out Jim Carrey. Okay, I'm just giving shout outs to
Absolutely
everyone.
good.
But
you
yeah,
give
he
out-
deserves
you're
it.
not too many
He deserves it. He deserves it.
Yeah.
It's not like that time we were playing basketball, remember?
What?
Were you there?
I don't think so.
You were in South Korea. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'll probably talk about that sometime.
Yeah,
on
we
the
need to
podcast.
we need to get into that someday. That's a long conversation. But there was this one time we were playing basketball, and then every time you made a shot, you gave a shout out. You know the boys, they give shout outs to the most random people, the worst people.
Yeah. I already know like the top 10 list already. Like, we're not going through it though.
Yeah, we won't. We won't. Just for the sake of the episode, we won't.
I already know who number 1 is.
Please don't.
We
Don't.
talked about him earlier on the podcast.
Okay, all right, that's enough. That's
Yeah,
enough. Stop
but-
there.
all right.
Okay. Now hit him with something. Hit him with what is your number one change that you made recently that added a lot of value to your life? A minor improvement, if you will.
Minor improvement.
Yes.
I really haven't improved much, if I'm being honest.
Bro,
I'm just
you
kidding. I'd say one improvement to my life in general is I started working more. I'd say that's a good improvement in my life because I'm still getting like pretty good grades in school right now. We had a bit of a dip, but we're on the academic comeback right now.
there you go.
And yeah, I'd say it's looking pretty good. And I'd say that another thing is I think that it's learning commitment, right? That's one thing that I've been getting better at because like I was very uncommitted to my job and to school, right? I didn't spend a lot of time studying at school, but then also I was barely taking any shifts at work. Now I'm studying a lot at school and I'm taking way more shifts at work because I think it's important to have a commitment, right? If you have no moral integrity of wanting to show up and actually do your best, then why are you even there, right?
Mm.
Know what
Very
I mean?
true. Very true. I was thinking about, you know how I mentioned about constant improvement?
Yeah.
What is one person who did not give up? Or when you picture somebody who did not give up, who comes to mind? Somebody who was disadvantaged at every turn or in one big way.
I already know who we're both talking about.
There's no way. I don't think you're going to get this, okay? Okay, on 3. Ready? 3, 2, 1, Rock
David
Lee.
Goggins.
Okay.
What?
Okay.
I completely agree. Yeah,
no,
but I
David
don't know, I
Goggins
feel
is a
like-
much better
yeah, he's a
answer.
way better pick.
No, I don't know why he didn't. I was just thinking about Rock
Lee
Lee.
wasn't really that. He
No,
was
it was-
disadvantaged in the fact that he couldn't use like ninjutsu, but that's it.
No, I was thinking about it because we were talking about UFC when the thought came to my mind
When were we talking about UFC?
in the kitchen.
Oh well, earlier. Like, I thought you meant.
By the way, we just made the best burgers ever. Oh my god, that was
we're chefs. Just Circler, we cooking up.
absolutely cooking. dropping the burger recipe. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna pull a Mr. Beast, open up a burger chain. Speaking of which, you wanna know the funny thing? When I wrote down people who I thought never gave up, Mr. Beast was on the list.
I have so much respect for Mr. Beast.
Big throwback to those times when he said, "Hey guys, welcome to my video. Today I'll be saying Logan Paul for 10 hours straight."
Yeah.
Logan Paul, Logan Paul, Logan Paul, Logan Paul.
Like, it's like he came so far, man.
How do you
And
even
he's
do
such
that?
a genius. Like, he's
An
such
absolute
a genius.
genius.
You know that he lost money on his Squid Game video?
Really?
You know how much it cost for him to make it?
How much?
Take a guess. How much it cost to make one YouTube video?
Oh yeah. It's Mr. Beast. He's gonna make a lot of money. $1 million.
$4 million.
For one
Or
video?
like $4.5 million. You know, it was initially supposed to be like, I saw him talking about it on a podcast, and he's like, it was supposed to initially be a $2 million project, and then we're like, damn, we're gonna have to use, like, they started it, and they're like, well, damn, it's gonna be like $3 million, and then they were like, oh god damn, it's gonna be $4 million, and yeah,
He still did it.
and he didn't make. I think he barely broke even. I think he lost a little on it.
Wow.
Because, well, to him, a little is like $100,000. But have you seen the clip of like Kai Cenat, and he's like at the charity match, and he goes up to Mr. B, he's like, "Hey, can I get 100,000?" And he's like, "They make money that low?" And
What? He said that?
He said that.
That's crazy.
Like, as a joke, and it's so funny because the truth is, to him, 100,000 is really not that much.
Mr. Beast is so interesting because he also lived in such a like mediocre apartment until his house got broken into.
Yeah, he still, I think, lives in a. Well, no, because he just upgraded for security reasons.
Not because of the
Yeah,
whole bling
and that's what's
lifestyle.
interesting is I love the fact that he has a sense of like community. He doesn't want to leave his friends behind. Like that's what he said on one of his podcasts. Is he's like, if I buy a mansion and a Lambo, I'm buying all my friends' mansions and Lambos, right? He said he's not
That's
like
crazy. I
right,
didn't
and I'm
know he
like,
said
you know,
that.
I have mad respect for a guy that's not gonna. Because the thing is, he made the channel, right? It would be nothing without him, but he knows that it wouldn't have been as much without his friends, right? He could have made it on his own, but he made it as far as he did because of his friends.
I think that the truth is videos like that prosper because of the people in it. It wouldn't be the same without your key cast of members.
Exactly. Like anybody can do a last lead the circle loses or wins. Sorry. Last lead the circle wins. But it's because of the people in the Mr. Beast crew that made it interesting, right? It's because of Mr. Beast that made it interesting. All those challenges, you'll see plenty of those channels just on other YouTube videos, but none of them blow up like Mr. Beast. Like back when he wasn't the biggest YouTuber in the world. Like now he's probably the biggest YouTuber in the world.
If
right?
we're talking viewership, yeah, absolutely.
Viewership and subscriber count, he's past
No.
PewDiePie.
What? Are you
Way
serious?
more. He's almost at 200 million, I think.
You're lying.
I'm not sure. Okay, you know what?
No way. There's
New saying.
no way.
Mythic, pull it up.
Okay.
Pulling
yeah.
up the.
Mythic, pull it up.
we're
pull
gonna
it up.
Pull up. Mr.
Do you want to know
Beast.
something crazy? I just realized that's the first time we've used either of our names in this
Yeah,
podcast.
but don't worry, people. will
That's
find
crazy. There we go.
it. I just typed Google into Google.
Okay. Anyways, I'm shocked that Mr. Beast is even remotely. Is he actually above PewDiePie? There's no way, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But how? I thought that PewDiePie didn't he receive like a special play button?
204 million subscribers.
What
Just
the
up.
hell? That is
And
crazy.
We'll check PewDiePie really quickly.
That is absurd. But that's exactly what I was talking about. That's why I put him down.
111 million. By 90 million subscribers, Mr. Beast is faster.
Mr. Beast is easily the most subscribed YouTube channel. Oh my goodness.
Well, I don't know if T Series is even there. I think that Mr. Beast is trying to catch up to T Series. Like that was one of his things.
Wow.
But
That's crazy.
I think that he is just a different kind of guy. You know?
But that's why I really liked using him as an example because he didn't have that to begin with, and he certainly may not have been projected for that. I don't know the whole lore about what his most famous video is or how he really blew up. I feel like it's that video where he gave $10,000 to a homeless guy.
Yeah,
Because
that's
he
what
also
like,
attributes a lot of his success to that. But the truth is, it was from constant tweaking and improvement, right? For example, this episode, already I'm seeing 10 flaws within the way that we talked, within the way that we did it. I haven't even finished recording yet, and I already see ways to improve it. But that doesn't mean I'm going to scrap the whole thing and throw it in the dumpster because I don't like it. If I waited for it to be perfect, we would never get an episode out
You would never get anything done if you waited for stuff to be perfect. Right?
because perfection doesn't exist.
Exactly. Perfection is a false concept.
Exactly. It's only getting better until you're happy with it.
That's why I'm saying you should chase a pathway, not a final destination.
Absolutely.
Which is something we talked about on the last episode, so we're not going to get into it again. But chasing perfection is a stupid idea because it's a non-existent reality. right?
You should just constantly
Just
look for that
strive to
next
be
step.
better, right?
Absolutely.
It shouldn't be how good I want to get. It's am I better than I was yesterday, right? Or the day before that. The day
There are
before that.
days. There are days. For example, recently, last week, I had a really bad day where I was sitting in my room at night, just contemplating the fact that I didn't get enough done today, and I was really upset with myself. And then I asked myself, am I better than I was a week ago, maybe a month ago, 2 months ago, a year ago?
Yeah.
The drastic change. For example, the person you see right now, it's almost like a butterfly compared to a caterpillar that I was a year ago or 2 years ago is arguably a better time frame. Completely lost in life, not knowing what to do. Then I found my passion and decided this is what I want to do now, and I want to help other people do the same thing, making a constant improvement, finding a brighter horizon for themselves, making their life better.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do. But the truth is, I never would have been here if I constantly waited for the time to be perfect.
Yeah.
The time will never be perfect for you to make a change. The time will never be perfect for you to start something. The time will never be perfect for you to ask your crush out.
Yeah.
Ask, fail, try again. That's life. You will never have perfect circumstances. And the most important thing is just keep improving. Keep taking that step and keep making your life better. Because at the end of the day, you'll be happy tomorrow that you took the step today.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is. That's all it is. It's just that constant improvement.
Yeah. Because imagine if you thought about like a goal as like your final destination, right? If you go to sleep tonight, you're going to think oh, wait, let me think about how I can phrase this. Wait, hold up. Suppose that your goal is to lose 20 pounds, right?
Okay.
Now, suppose that after a week, you lose 5 pounds. The next week, you put on 2.5 pounds. If you're so focused on your goal, you're going to say, hey, I lost 2.5 pounds, right? Within the 2 weeks. But if you're focused on taking the steps, you're going to say, hey, I put 2.5 pounds on this week, right? Because instead of being focused on how close you are to your destination, you should be focusing on how close am I to who I was yesterday. Because you don't want to be close to that guy.
Yeah.
You don't want to be close to the guy from before. Because that guy is younger than you. He's a day younger than you.
Wow.
He's a younger version of you who has less time to improve. If every day you're given more time, you should be spending it on getting better.
You want to know why I'm happy you brought up that analogy? I went through that this summer in the worst way possible.
Yeah.
I for the fans out there, I was at around 155 pounds, which was up from maybe 130 a couple of years prior. Granted, I haven't been working out for 2 years or so. Like, that was not the truth. Maybe I'd say seriously a year. Like, considering eating and going to the gym consistently, I'd say a year I've taken it very seriously. Then I went on vacation with the fam, which we'll talk about another day. That's a big story to get into as well.
Possibly the next episode, maybe
I'd say, yeah.
couple down the line, maybe. We'll see.
But we went on vacation. I came back, and I had lost 10 pounds. Now, to some of you, that might sound like, yay, I would love to lose 10 pounds in a month. But for me, that was the worst feeling ever, considering how much effort I had to put in to get those 10 pounds on my body in the first place. It was the worst feeling coming back. But then what did I do? Just went to the gym again, got back into eating, and now we up again, almost at the same range I was before leaving. Does that mean that I'm as close to my goal as I was before I left? Absolutely not. I'm still further away than I was a couple months ago. But I am also closer than I was when I was on vacation. I'm back now. I'm working towards it. I'm constantly improving. And that's the thing. If I had one message for everybody to take away from this episode today is chase your dreams, work hard towards them, and every day make a small improvement.
Exactly. Don't be scared to take a step because you feel like you need to take a big step, right? No one ever climbed a mountain by sprinting off the start, right? Everybody started by taking the small steps, right? Sorry. But I think that you should take the time to take small steps. Don't worry about taking the biggest leap of faith right away. I know a lot of people nowadays are saying, you got to just take a big jump. And you gotta go at it, right? But chip away at it, right? You got some goal. Just keep moving forward. That's the problem. People will say run and then stop, and then run and then stop, or just keep running, keep running. That's not possible, right? Have you ever seen somebody try to run up Mount Everest? No,
Nope.
because it's a foolish thing to do. Life is a marathon, not a sprint, right? So take it one step at a time. Place one foot in front of the other. Don't try to run 100 meters right away, right? Just take the time and just take a step.
And like I said before, it's the same thing with not trying to do too much at once. Because again, it's the same thing as waiting for the perfect conditions. Because you think I need to hit these checkpoints 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in one single bound. That stops you from taking the first step to accomplish even the first thing you wanted to get done, right? And one big example of it would be this podcast. We were constantly thinking, how could we improve it? How can we improve it? And at some point, you just have to stop trying to find perfection and simply jump into it. And at the end of the day, this is fine because that authenticity is what I want. I want everybody to see the true side of us. I don't want to put on a facade or a mask and hide who I am, because I did that for so long that I know that I never want to do it again.
But that's something that we'll talk about again on
Another episode. That's a
a
deep
very good topic
conversation.
that I think
Yeah,
we should talk about.
absolutely. But the main thing is
Take a step.
take a step.
Such a simple phrase. 3 words. It's so interesting that 3 words could maybe revolutionize your life if you really took them to heart.
I'm gonna slap those words right here on the wall.
Yeah.
Take a step.
Take a step.
That or some sort of message is gonna go right there one day. Check out our YouTube channel if you want to see that happen in the upcoming days. But overall, that's what we got for you guys today. Hitting y'all with one last thing. As always, drum roll please. Quote of the week.
You know, what I realized is we should probably get a drum roll sound effect.
Oh,
Great
that's a
idea.
good idea.
Yeah.
You know what? If you guys were here when we talked about this on episode 2, going back into the future, if we use the drum roll sound effect every week,
Now
you'll be
you
an
know.
OG
You'll be
where
an
it came from.
OG.
Yeah, you'll know where it came from.
Yep.
But anyways, the quote for this week ties in very well with improvement. Constant improvement, if you will. Truly, the biggest thing about constant improvement is discipline, right? And this quote comes from a Twitter account, or at least that's where I found it. I Googled who wrote it, and that's what came up. So I'm going to use it and give credit where credit is due. Okay? And the quote goes like this: discipline is not about perfection, but about continuation. And it comes from Rainey Lackner. If y'all look him up on Twitter, you'll find his account. He's a inspirational guy. But that's where I found it. And just going to hit you guys with that quote for today. So remember, for the next week, until I see you again, until we see you again,
Yeah.
remember, take a step. Always improve and keep chasing those dreams. We love you guys.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in to episode 2 of the Brighter Horizons podcast. We hope to see you guys next week. Live a positive life, y'all. Peace out.